Happy, some maybe not so happy. So that concludes, and I'm looking right. Penalties coming in. Driver number 22, Damien Marquez, 3 seconds, push to pass. Driver number 87, Sergei Lysic, 3 seconds, push to pass. It does not change the overall result. GB win with jackpot. Please remember, bet responsibly. And that will be the UK's third win of this 2026 SWS World Finals. It puts them into a so it's France, 15 wins and pole awards, Spain, 6 wins and pole awards, Belgium and the Netherlands tied for third with 4 wins and pole awards, and then the United Kingdom with 3 wins and or pole awards. A grand total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 different nations have either won a race or been officially awarded a pole position as the Masters get set to come out.
Voilà, la catégorie Master maintenant que l'on va retrouver. Les pilotes sont en train de revenir, de se rendre vers leurs cartes qui leur ont été attribuées. Vous allez le voir dans quelques instants, ils vont s'installer avec en haut de cette hiérarchie le numéro 19 qui correspond bien évidemment à Laurent Carrier. Laurent Carrier qui va donc s'élancer en pole position. Il aura derrière lui le numéro 25, Olivier Laurençon, le pilote suisse. Animateur des courses de jeudi. Hier, nous étions vendredi. Voilà, donc Laurent Carrier qui va il va s'élancer en deuxième position. C'est pas lui qui est en pole position, autant pour moi. Il est sur la gauche de l'image, donc à droite de la grille. Donc il sera à l'extérieur du premier virage. L'homme qui va s'élancer depuis la pole position, il est juste à côté de lui. Et les choses sont bien faites puisque c'est le numéro 18 et c'est Kenny Robles. Donc on va avoir une première ligne 100% tricolore dans quelques instants. Well, all the master drivers are ready to go now, and we will have on the front row of the grid the number 18, Kenny Robles, and number 19, Laurent Carrier, for a full French man first row on the grid. There is a problem for number 10. What is the problem for Geoffroy Galichet? Okay, it seems that the problem is almost fixed now. Yeah, I guess so. So maybe we're going to start now within a few seconds from this Master Super Heat. Voilà, un petit problème, semble-t-il, pour Geoffroy Galichet à bord de son kart numéro 10. Il avait, semble-t-il, quelques soucis au niveau du volant. Était-ce pour fixer son écran? Ah, finalement, on va... Ouais, non, finalement, c'est pas au niveau du volant, c'est au niveau du pédalier. Ouais, il semble qu'il y a un problème pour Geoffroy Galichet. It seems that the problem is regarding the pedals. It seems that the one pedal is locked. So will he swap kart or not? No, it seems that everything is fixed. Okay, everything is good now, and Geoffroy Galichet will be able to attend this super hit for the masterclass. Voilà, on a visiblement résolu le problème du côté du pédalier de Geoffroy Galichet et tout est rentré dans l'ordre. On va pouvoir donc donner le départ de cette catégorie master, de cette super hit catégorie master. So it seems that everything is under control now, and the kart will enter shortly on the track and going to stop at the starting grid. Here they are. Voilà, les pilotes qui sont sortis de la pré-grille et qui vont donc maintenant s'arrêter sur la grille de départ pour l'avant-dernière Super Hit, puisque juste après les Masters, eh bien, nous aurons les féminines. Alors là, ça sera un petit peu moins compliqué pour les Masters, hein, puisque ça va déterminer les positions pour la finale de tout à l'heure, hein, puisqu'ils sont 36 au départ. Et donc, on va déterminer les positions pour la finale en fonction des résultats de cette Super Hit. On va vérifier quand même et on surveillera quand même le numéro 10, hein, Geoffroy Galichet, pour savoir si ces problèmes sont vraiment définitivement résolus. Attention au départ. Watch out.
Now we have a space in the middle of the grid there. One row on the inside is missing, so one driver, Ricardo Ribeiro from Portugal, not taking the start. Lights are out. Kenny Robles has the lead early on.
Et c'est le numéro 19 qui a pris le meilleur départ, Laurent Carrier, qui depuis l'extérieur de la première ligne a réussi à plonger le premier en tête dans le virage à gauche après la ligne. Oula, attention là, ça part un peu n'importe comment là, dans l'herbe pour un concurrent. Heureusement, il a réussi à contenir son kart et revenir assez rapidement sur la piste. Mais là, ça commence à devenir un petit peu chaud là pour certains. Alors, il me semblait que c'était Laurent Carrier qui avait réalisé le meilleur départ, mais j'ai un doute parce qu'il m'a semblé voir un numéro 19 là, un petit peu dans le cœur du peloton. Est-ce que j'aurais raté quelque chose Ouais, il semble que ce soit Kenny Robles qui ait repris les commandes de la course. On va attendre que les deux pilotes repassent sur la ligne.
This is Robles and Carrier.
Oui, voilà, Robles et Carrier, le 18 et non, le 19 et le 18. C'est bien ce que je disais. C'est bien Laurent Carrier qui est le leader.
Now Carrier currently second in points. Robles is your points leader at the moment, and we'll be able to give you all the point standings as the super heats now progress. The single grid fields up in the third position: Virgil Monami, Olivier Laurentian, Mikhail Ubermulin, Sebastian Delorme, Brice Nguessan, Andrea Rocco, then Geoffrey Galichet and Laurent Quendo. Fabrizio Anello, 11th, but he's very quick. Watch out for driver number 8. Although he had a penalty, he was excluded from one race, so that means he's not got any chance of winning. Jose Francisco Gonzalez, David Tovin, Joel Foray, Johan Harise, Stefan Bossier, and Gustavo Martins Zimmerman. We have 3 Frenchmen, a Swiss. Well, we have 6 Frenchmen and 1 Swiss driver covering the top 7 positions at the moment. Kenny Robles, he can afford to sit behind Laurent Carrier in this race. He can't afford to do that in the final because there's more points available in the final. And Laurent Carrier, Thomas Burchard making a good move there. Was it too good a move? The number 32, Thomas Burchard, he gets a penalty. 3 seconds penalty. That pushes the American back to 15th position.
On est bien parti là côté Laurent Carrier et Kenny Robles, hein, puisque vous le savez, avec ces résultats, on va déterminer l'ordre des positions pour la finale, parce que évidemment, on va rajouter ces positions et ce résultat au résultat obtenu précédemment, puisque je vous rappelle que jeudi, il y a déjà eu des manches de qualification et pour l'instant, eh bien, c'est Laurent Carrier qui mène la course, mais au cumul des points récoltés, eh bien, c'est Kenny Robles qui est actuellement en 2e position, qui est aux avant-postes du classement. Donc voilà, c'est un duel à distance entre les deux hommes. Est-ce que Kenny Robles va laisser la victoire à Laurent Carrier ou est-ce qu'il va essayer de tenter de s'imposer? On verra ça parce que après, ça sera le Money Time dans la finale qui aura lieu cet après-midi, bien évidemment. Pour l'heure, Laurent Carrier boucle un nouveau tour en tête, avec Kenny Robles dans son sillage. Un petit peu plus loin, on retrouve Virgile Monami et Olivier Laurençon, le pilote suisse. Donc 3 pilotes tricolores aux 3 premières places et ensuite Olivier Laurençon qui voit derrière lui Michael Ubermulin mener la chasse pour revenir sur le duo qui est devant lui. Il y a 5 cartes dans son sillage.
Out of turn number 5. Through the chicane at 6 and 7. Now the kink at 8 out onto the banking. The black race suit with the bright turquoise blue leggings and sleeves of Laurent Carrier from PMS Passion Karting. Robles from Brignoles Karting. Mon Ami in cart number 34, representing Circuit Berdery. Now a French 1-3. Olivier Laurencon, the super driver, backed driver from the MK circuit in Switzerland. He is there in the number 25 cart. He's got a new race suit today, has Olivier Laurencon. Coca-Cola sponsored by Olivier Laurencon. So new colours. I suppose in this type of competition you're allowed to change race suits just to make life difficult for the commentators. We get used to commentating on Laurencon with his black super driver race suit with the chrome lettering, and then he pops up for finals day in a Coca-Cola sponsored suit.
He signed the deal during the night.
Ah, yes, okay, not a problem at all. They saw, well, Coca-Cola PLC watching the Sodi World Series finals, I'm sure from their HQ in Atlanta, Georgia. I think that's where they're based. And why not sponsoring Olivier Laurencon?
And you know now road racing are allowed now in Switzerland.
Yes, it's allowed,
so
finally.
Finally. So that's the reason why Coca-Cola came.
And of course, because you mentioned that's a very, very good point. Road racing in Switzerland was banned in 1955 due to the tragic accident that happened here at Le Mans at the start line in the 24 hours that killed 80 plus spectators. And it's only just been reinstated. There are some kart circuits. I've commentated on the Swiss Rotax Max Challenge, but race circuits, none. There used to be one called Bremgarten, which was fearsome. The Swiss Formula One Grand Prix, which was held as recently as 1982, was in Dijon-Prenois. Yeah, Keke Rosberg won the Swiss Grand Prix. But now road racing finally allowed on public roads again.
We will see if, for example, if there is a round of World Rally Championship, for example.
Okay, yes,
it could be an opportunity, but for sure for road racing and permanent track, it could be a little bit tricky in the next few years.
Yes. And the same in the UK. Public roads racing on public roads in the UK, only the Birmingham Super Prix back in the 1980s was allowed in the UK. Well, that's NIMBYism in the UK. Everyone wants to watch it, but not in NIMBYism, not in my backyard. Great Britain, the British people are fantastic for that. Oh, we like it, but not near us. Not near us. We don't want to be disturbed.
Is that the reason why they go racing at the Isle of Man?
Yeah, because
it's far from their backyard.
Well, it's its own independent principality, Isle of Man, part of the UK, but independent principality. Same in the Northwest 200 in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland, part of the UK, but not the mainland UK. That's why we have, and they have hill climbs in Jersey, one of the Channel Islands. But that's a history lesson for another time. We're looking at Laurent Carrier and Kenny Robles. Nothing has changed since we went down a little historic rabbit hole. Gustavo Zimmerman Martins in car 11, 3-second penalty, push to pass. That drops him to 25th. And Fabrizio Anello still only 10th. The top two clear. The lead is very spread out in this race, I have to say. Kenny Robles, there he is, sitting behind Laurent Carrier. At the moment, Robles would have 164 points. Oh, what's he waving for? That's the thing, I don't want anybody online to say, what's this commentator on about? I do appreciate the talent on display here. What I don't understand, and it is a rental kart thing, you don't see just as much waving of the hands in two-stroke owner-driver racing. I think, obviously, they put their hands in the air to try and say, did you see that? Did you see that? Well, you know, there are officials. There's a series of cameras here on track. The officials, let them do their job. They're qualified. They don't see everything. But it certainly, it doesn't help you go any faster. In fact, you know, if you're taking your hand off the steering wheel to shake your fist at another driver, that means you've taken your focus or a percentage of your focus off what you need to be doing, and that's driving. And it can't help you. It won't help you. But Virgil Mon-Ami now closing in on the Coca-Cola sponsored Olivier Laurencon. Brice Nguessan, 109.682. He is there in 6th position. I spoke to him, he said, is it Bryce or Brice? And he said, well, in English people say Bryce, but in French it's Brice. So he said, you can say Bryce. I said, I'm not English. I'll say Brice. It's Brice Nguessan in 6th position. Chasing Sébastien Delorme, Virgil Mon-Ami, Olivier Laurencon, Kenny Robles and Laurent Carrier.
Allez, pas de changement en tête de la course avec toujours Laurent Carrier devant Kenny Robles. Et derrière, eh bien, on a un autre duo avec Olivier Laurençon, le pilote suisse, et Virgile Mon-Ami, qui sont toujours roue dans roue, mais qui n'arrivent pas à faire la jonction, même si on voit ici Olivier Laurençon essayer de se rapprocher. L'écart visuellement a un petit peu diminué, puis derrière Virgile Mon-Ami, eh bien, on retrouve Sébastien Delorme et Brice Nguessan, qui sont eh bien 5e et 6e. Voilà, on a des petits duos sur la piste. Mais pour l'instant, pas de changement, pas d'attaque, pas de problème. Et voilà, il suffisait que je le dise pour que eh bien, Kenny Robles pointe le bout de son kart à l'intérieur de celui de Laurent Carrier. Ça n'est pas passé pour cette fois. Mais voilà, le duel est lancé.
At the moment, the title will be decided between not the race, but the overall title is between these two drivers. 164 points for Robles, 156 points for Carrier. I'm sorry I don't have the points breakdown of how many you get for each race in front of me. It's available on the Sodi World Series website. If you look at the kids, the Sprint Cup, you'll see the results on the SWS website. That will give you an idea of how many points. I don't have those figures in front of me, but Carrier is 8 points behind Robles, but he's 15 points in front of Laurencon, and Laurencon is another 8 points in front of Virgil Mon-Ami. So if these two drivers play it smart in these next 50 seconds plus a lap, they can effectively make the final, make the championship here between just the two of them. If they start battling, if they start slowing each other down, tripping over each other, maybe getting themselves penalties for pushing to pass or something like that, then that simply brings Laurencon, Mon-Ami, and even Geoffrey Galichet, who is 5th in points at the moment, it brings them into contention, not just the race, but for the actual main event later on.
Allez, Laurent Carrier qui est en train d'accélérer, hein. Il est en train de creuser un petit peu l'écart sur Kenny Robles. Kenny Robles qui, pour l'instant, eh bien, est resté sagement derrière Laurent Carrier pendant toute la course. Et là, je pense qu'il est en train d'accélérer Laurent Carrier pour se mettre définitivement à l'abri, parce que il reste encore deux tours à parcourir. Est-ce que Laurent Carrier, qui a pris ses petites longueurs d'avance, va être à l'abri jusqu'au bout? Rien n'est moins sûr, parce que derrière, eh bien, Olivier Laurençon revient très très vite sur Kenny Robles. We can see at the front of the race that
yes.
Laurent Carrier made a small gap, but Olivier Laurençon is quite fast now and is closing the gap on Kenny Robles.
And I have to say, this is a really, really important lap and a half for Olivier Laurençon. He needs to make a move. If he passes Kenny Robles, he closes the gap to Robles in the points standings. It's a cumulative event. Robles, maybe a mistake, maybe the kart going off. Laurent Con saving the best to last. He looks to the inside virage to Techno Park. Nothing happening there. On the start-finish line, Alain Delcroix has one finger in the air. 1 lap to go. And Laurent Con, well, Robles saying, come on, let's push. Laurent Con needs to make the move, however. Sitting there in third isn't going to help Laurent Con. Karts travelling 4 wide into turn number 1. That's for about 10th, 11th position on back. That's Anello, Boissier, Rocco, Quendo, and Jean Foray. There's the move from Laurenson up a curve des Duchamps, Eric.
Voilà, Olivier Laurençon, voilà, on le sentait venir. Il a pris le meilleur dans cette dans ce dernier tour, parce que c'est le dernier tour. Est-ce que Kenny Robles va être en mesure de rendre l'appareil? Oui, ça semble être le cas dans le banking. Oui, il sort, il reprend la deuxième position, Kenny Robles. Attention au freinage au bout de la ligne droite, Olivier Laurençon qui semble un petit peu plus rapide, mais regardez, Kenny Robles qui est à l'intérieur depuis le début de la ligne droite et qui va fermer la porte. Est-ce que ça va suffire ou est-ce que Olivier Laurençon, au prix de l'aspiration, va pouvoir passer sur la ligne?
Now that move at the banking for Kenny Robles. Well, Carrier takes the victory. Carrier with the victory. Robles second. Laurenton in third. And they cross the line. There's a fist bump between Brice and Guessan and Sébastien Delorme as they take fourth and fifth. Virgil Monami is sixth. Galichet, Ubermoulin, Anello and Rocco round out your top 10. Joel Foray, Boissier. Now, this is what I meant. Kenny Robles, he put a move on Olivier Laurenson on the banking. It was for second place. It looked like there might have been a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action, so to speak. If Kenny Robles, let's have a look. For example, well, do you know what? The gap, if Robles is given a 3-second penalty, I'm not saying he is, but a 3-second penalty for Carrier or Robles or even Laurent Con, for whatever they have done, they were still far enough ahead of everybody else, it wouldn't affect them too much. The top 3 finishing 4.5 seconds in front of Nguessan, Delorme, Monami, Galichet, and the rest. Penalty for Thomas Burchard. He still comes back to finish 16th, however, which is really good indeed. I'm going to look down the order. Ricardo Ribeiro, a non-starter, 35 drivers. Let's have a look now. The race was very spread out from the start. I wonder why that could have been, because it happened right at the start of the race. Now you can see, here's the number 13 driver, Juan Grise, sort of hacking away at the steering wheel. Anello in the bright green and white crash helmet gets to the inside, but Carrier untroubled. What a great start. 3 kart lengths in front as they come through. Now, this is looking a bit tasty. And there's that's the 15 of Jordi Plana, the 10 kart of Galichet getting shown the door. Laurent Con, Laurenson and Robles continue to battle. I'm looking to see if we're going to get any penalties appear on the screen. This is Laurenson up the inside for second place. Well, and again, look at that. A little bit of bumper action there, so, okay, fair enough. And there was the end of the move on the banking, where Robles moved Laurenson up. Maybe that was the phrase 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, which means it's the same. That's a score draw, 1 apiece. Robles puts the door handle to Laurenson for second. Laurenson puts the door handle to Robles for second. Robles puts the door handle to Laurenson to retake the place. Laurent Carrier, arms aloft, and that is a great performance. We've got 1 super heat to go. It's for the Women's Cup, and this has been a wide open class, I have to say. And there's Laurent Carrier. Yep, he's got lots of love, so much love to give at the moment.